Oh, guys, what's going on? Welcome into the stream. Happy Wednesday morning to you. And we got a lot going on. We got a lot of NBA going on. We're going to be really focusing a lot on the morning stream today on some main markets. College football, the NFL, this upcoming weekend slate of games. We'll also be taking a look at college basketball and NBA and NHL main markets for today. Kind of getting ourselves set up for success as we'll focus more on player props this evening's stream at 6 p.m. Eastern. So let's kind of jump into it. I got the Sharp Money tool pulled up, and let's see what we got going on. What's going on, Chi-Town? What's going on, Wilbo? Afternoon from the UK. For those of you that are across the pond, afternoon. Yeah, NBA games for the Brits in UK got to be, oh man. For anyone that's in Europe, yeah, the late, no one's watching the West Coast games. If you're in the UK, I'd say that. What's going on at P? Chi-Town, Irish, Anton, what's going on, guys? All right, so first we're looking at the Sharp Money tool. I don't have it selected yet for PrizePicks and Underdog, but I do have it selected for just all main markets for today. No leagues, anything like that. At the moment, whoa, all right. Someone just posted $4,000 on South Florida versus Coppin State. Doesn't look like we have any Pinnacle or bookmaker odds yet. So we can get this at a great price at Bet Rivers. This is one of those things, guys, where obviously this basketball game doesn't start until 7 p.m. Eastern. But if you want to, someone has put up a lot of money with no sharp books, though, yet or have lines posted for this. Looks like in general for the Sharp Money tool for main markets, there really isn't any heavy liquidity posted outside of this play. Utah Tech and Manhattan, these are two really small schools. Somebody wants this at minus 112. Bookmaker would be my sharp book in this instance at minus 140. Pinnacle's at minus 129. Yeah, this would be decent. This is most likely, though, just a positive EV play. So this person wants Manhattan at plus 4.5 at minus 112. It's really just a plus EV play to both bookmaker and Pinnacle. This South Florida play, no sharp book has provided their odds yet. And naturally, this is a very EV. I'd say this is an EV play to Bet Rivers and Ballybet. So take with this as you will. Obviously, I'd say for account health, betting both of these plays, probably not in your best interest. But let me pull up the DFS, and let's take a look at some player props, and let's look for just some PrizePicks, some Underdog. Let's see what we got going on over there. Let's start with PrizePicks and see what we have. Okay, so Josh Giddey, someone wants the under 39.5 PRA. I don't know if he's going to play in tonight's game, but they want this at minus 122 odds. Once we get below this Desmond Bain, Keldon Johnson, really anything that's around $500, guys, is tough for me to grab. Like this Desmond Bain play, this is kind of chopped up. A lot of people want this, there's about $500 between minus 119 and minus 124. On Con, there's about $700 at minus 125. So purely from the Sharp Money tool, it's okay. And this is a little bit off to FanDuel. I'm looking to play 3-pick entries, but I'm not quite super excited about any of these plays for DFS at the moment. Love hearing that, Wilbo, if you're an NHL fan. Hopefully you guys were able to tail the Leo Carlson play yesterday. That one was elite. I bet my max over on FanDuel, and he cashed in the, I think it was the first or second period. It was awesome. Awesome to see that one. All right, so let me go ahead over here on the board. In case we see something like this Giddey play, I'll throw it in there. Again, I hate betting him on his unders, but we'll grab his less on his PRA because I do like this. Mikal Bridges. Not really. I'll open up the optimizer here just to see. In times like these, we can take a look at the optimizer compared to the Sharp Money tool and look at some 3-man entries. Because this is like pulling, it feels right now like it's pulling teeth just to put a slip together. And normally I hate putting slips together like that because it's just, I'm not trying to force anything. So, don't like Bridges. Con is okay. It's a little low for me. There's $700 on the over on his rebounds and assists. So this is like okay. Where's this at? Okay, and then Desmond Bain, there's not enough money there. In my opinion, it's a little too low. Keldon Johnson, there's not enough money there. Like, we're really, yeah, I got a tough time here for PrizePicks. This is tough for PrizePicks. If I'm looking at underdog, anything better. Again, Giddey's going to pop up. You could play the Giddey play. Wiggins, Andrew, over 26.5 PRA for the Heat. A lot of people, most people want this between -116 and -118. So, no. Bridges, we talked about. Keldon Johnson, we talked about. James Harden. Yeah, so there's not much here. I can't really put a slip together at the moment for underdog based off just the sharp money tool. If I pop over here, throw in 3 minimum data points, what do we got? If I'm looking at 3-man entries, we could rock 6 picks. I don't like rocking 6 picks. It's just too much variance for me to handle. I'm fine with Porzingis over on his threes. Dyson Daniels, props builders at -123. Hard to say on Dyson Daniels for his made threes if this is any good. Yeah, man, this is tough right now this morning, guys. It'll get better as we go through the days. It's funny enough, I'm on better now. It'll improve as we go through today with the opportunities. But at this very moment, at least for myself personally, there isn't anything that I'm super excited about that I can just get all over. Let me clear out this slip. Let me pull it better. And so we do have an SGA boost today on better. I don't know about you guys. I got a little discounted boost. Oh, instead of over 43.5 PRA, it's over 40.5, which is better. There's also a boost on JSN. I like this Aaron Gordon play. Not the Aaron Gordon play as much. I like the Wiggins play. Sorry. Wiggins over 7.5 rebounds and assists. The Aaron Gordon play, yeah, actually I do, because Aaron Gordon's at 20.5, so I can get down with that with the points and rebounds. So we do have something to share here on better for DFS. Taking my SGA boost, playing this as a perfect play, no insurance. I'll share this with you guys right now. Plus 14 units, Chi-Town. Nice to hear that. Did well in college basketball. Good to hear that. What's going on, Daniel? Appreciate that, man. Trent, good morning to you. KYD says, for player props, I know you consider FanDuel sharp, but if the entire market, for example, is plus 110 at FanDuel's. So, it's a good question, but it depends on is there a line movement, right? If FanDuel's the one, if FanDuel's the only book that just moved to plus 110 and everyone else is at plus 150, then I bet the plus 150s. If there isn't really any movement at all, then sure, I would consider firing on FanDuel. FanDuel can definitely catch action from me. But, I definitely look at now, is there line movement between, did one book move? Did FanDuel move? That's kind of something else I would take into consideration. That's why I love, using my laptop. I would say, guys, when it comes to all the bets that I place every single day, I know I'm spoiled in this regard. 99% of my bets are placed on my laptop. I don't really place any bets looking at my cell phone and then firing off a bet. So I'm always looking at line movement. I understand for some of you guys that work, that have an office job, or you just work and you're not in front of your laptop, the phone's the best option that you have. But I'm always looking at line movement because I need that extra insight into what sports books are moving. So if I'm betting a couple of, like a mainline market play, and I can see that, we'll go over to Fliff right now. I can see that Bookmaker and Pinnacle or Circa are all in the same with this like mainline play for college hoops. Sure, I'll fire off on the rec book. But for player props, the line movement is just so critical for me. And I always take a look at that. Trey, do some prize picks. Yeah, we did. Trey, we did. We did prize picks at the very beginning of the stream. I have not seen enough for me to really fire off and give you a slip. So I'm not going to force a slip on prize picks just for the sake of making a slip. There just isn't anything really there at the moment. We'll come back to it. But for right now, that's why we're not on prize picks. Appreciate you, Irish. Appreciate it, man. No problem, Kid. Yeah, no problem. I understand that, the line movement, hopefully at some point it gets added to the mobile app so that you guys can see that. But it's, especially with player props and how there's just such low liquidity, if I can see books move, man, that is such a powerful indicator to me that I fire off. So in general, yes, if you see that example and you're on your mobile phone, you could take a stab at FanDuel there. Or the other rule that I would say is just don't bet anything on FanDuel for props for NBA. Fliff. Yeah, this is too juicy for me. Too juicy. For any parlay play users, every now and then, try to give some love to an owner's box or a parlay play. Murray and Harden combo looks very good to FanDuel early on. The over 43.5, 19 cents off. Hartenstein and Luka under 20.5 rebounds. I hate betting Luka unders, but okay. 9 cents. Just like yesterday, I hated betting Jalen Brunson under on his points, and yeah, went for 32. Desmond Bane, Mikal Bridges. Yeah, these are okay. These are fine for these three. No doubt about that. So, yeah, Ramo, guys, we're getting there. We're getting there. Trust me. We're getting to pick six, and we're going to be getting to dabble. We're making our way over there. Don't know if some of you guys are just tuning in, but we haven't gotten to dabble yet. We will. We haven't gotten to pick six yet. We will. Just sit tight, and just give me a minute, and we'll get over there. So if you guys are rocking parlay play, do that. I try to make sure I show a lot of different books for a lot of different folks. So I started with smart money. Didn't see much that I liked really in general. There just isn't much. This Wiggins play is fine. The Giddey play is fine. But outside of that, there just isn't enough money for me to really get behind any of this. Maybe Bridges can get there in a second. So, but appreciate the energy here, guys, early on this morning. We're getting there. Dabble. I'll start with some 3 picks. I prefer 3 picks if I were to. And basically, guys, I'm looking at this board. Like, even though I don't live in a state that has dabble, if I were to have dabble, this is how I would evaluate the situation. So, at the moment, not a lot of NBA props. Steph over 4. I could get in on this for today for Steph over 4. I am fine with really all of these plays that I see on my screen for dabble. With rushing yards, passing yards, receiving yards, there's a wider distribution, but I'm still fine with where we're getting these plays at. No doubt about that. So, no, it's all right, man. It's all right, man. If Ramo doesn't see, if I don't get to Ramo's book early enough, he'll let me know about it. So I always appreciate that from Ramo. And for the rest of you guys, I appreciate it. Some people are just tuning in now. So this is what I would rock, right? All right, so there's dabble, 3 pick entries, right? And for DraftKings pick 6, yeah, Jaylen Brown, I'm okay with this over 25.5 points. Kuminga, the problem here is, like I said, no FanDuel, so everybody's got this at 24.5. You could say this is all right on his under 25.5. You could go out on a limb and grab this. Jaylen Brown, yes. Vassell over 16.5 points and rebounds. I don't mind it. It's okay. It's all right. And okay. Yeah, I would say Kuminga, Brown, and Vassell. I don't like this Kuminga play, though, just for myself. I'm not going to share a link, guys, because I just don't quite have that confidence when it comes to all of it. For those of you that were clamoring for underdog, obviously, if you're playing 6-pick entries, God bless you. You can hit one from time to time. There's a lot of green in terms of what OddsJam thinks. Like for Dyson Daniels, OddsJam thinks this is great. This does look good for probably a 6-pick entry. But again, I just have MGM and Caesars. So, like, they both are really easy to beat for player props. So, I don't have any confidence in this play. This Opes play, I don't bet a lot of EuroLeague. So, I don't really like this play. Rollins, Rollins is just kind of meh. Because even though FanDuel's at 8.5 at plus 100, if they were to go to 9.5, I mean, maybe this would their odds would be minus 125. You have to take an educated guess here. Okay. But I'd rather have Rollins under on his points too. Is just that these aren't just because it's green on OddsJam doesn't mean that it's actually all that great. Don't play fantasy scores. Kamara is a bit better for me. I like this a little bit more for sure. 21.5 at minus 110 and get it minus 116, but yeah, not crazy about those. There's not enough really there for 3 picks. Yes, I like Cole Anthony. And I mean, you could take his under on his rebounds, his under PRA. I don't mind that at all. God, I got to bet another under on Harden. I mean, like, I just hate betting this, but this does look good at under 30.5. You could do this on Harden for sure. And then the Kamara play. Like, if that was the slip I would make, that would probably be it. Though I'm going to kick myself for having to bet an under on Harden. So we'll go with this one. Kamara's PRA. We're going to take the over. And this is just the thing with Harden is he could just, like his last game, he went nuclear. He went absolutely nuclear in his last game. And it was just like, dude. All right, and then what is it? Cole Anthony? My bad. And looks like they bumped that one. They definitely bumped Cole Anthony, which sucks because now I got to find something else. Hilarious. Yeah, Harden on his points and assists. I mean, that one's better, but the problem with Harden is like his points and his assists are the 2 categories that he racks it up. Sometimes it's all 3. But points and assists, they already bumped this to 34.5, so I would just stay with his points and rebounds. Same here with Hunter. I can go with Hunter. DeAndre. Under on his points and rebounds. All right, we'll share this one. This is probably going to bump quick, so go. Yeah, no doubt about that, Golden. I can agree with you there. You guys, if you don't want to touch this, that's totally fine by me. Even though Harden is a little bit of a higher variance player, because and they just bumped DeAndre Hunter, so you guys probably couldn't get that play. If you can't get that, Jalen Johnson looks really good. Let's refresh this. It's a dangerous game that you're playing. Just understand that. So I don't disagree with Golden at all. It's just a dangerous game for sure. Philosophy, I mean, I would like to see for player props. I made a video, guys, on OddsJam kind of talking about this. So if you want to see that video, I'll go ahead and share the link with you guys because it definitely answers your question. But to answer it right now, I'd say for player props, I'd like to see at least a 4x multiplier. Let me go. Where's this at here? Bum, bum, bum. All right, so we're over here. We spent some time with the DFS books. Let's go over and look at some arbitrage. What do we got for arbitrage right now? A little early in the morning. We had this set up for 3. We'll clear this out and just go in for 10%. And let's take a look. Okay, so oh yeah, I forgot I dropped a new video yesterday talking about. Actually, video just dropped now, guys, on the mathematically on the Plus EV custom formula. So if you guys want to check that out, it's currently live. All right, but here it is on the Sharp Money tool. Just it goes through everything that what I look for a little bit in depth. So naturally, guys, if you want to bet some money line plays this morning, Bet Now is a global book. It's an offshore book you can use. But like no vig, too early for me to be betting Norman Powell. There's only $23 here in no vig, but you could check that out. Like if this is real life between Tulsa and Oral Roberts on every game and then Bet Now, then I'm very interested in it. Very interested. But again, like this R between Bovada and DraftKings, I think this is one way that you can really nuke your Bovada account is betting an under on an NBA player prop. So this game doesn't start until 10:30 Eastern tonight because it's out in LA. Like, yeah, dude, we're over 12 hours away from this game starting, so just don't bet it. So normally early in the morning, guys, that's why in general I'm not smashing a bunch of arbitrage plays. And honestly, if I remove Bet Now from this scene, because I don't know if these are real plays or not, you're going to see some lower percentage plays. A lot of NBA player props, right? So this is just depending on the thing that I would still scan through these to see like a fine tooth comb. What's what? Like here we go. Like UT Martin and Bradley. Like I'm limited on FanDuel and I'm not going to get limited on Bet 105. It was good. It disappeared. If this is still out there for Bet 105, then this is still available. Like you can click this and say, hey, I can get this at 120 minus 110. This is a 2% R, but I can bet more on this, right? I can bet to $1,000 on Bet 105. But those are the plays that I would definitely look to go after a bit more when it comes to what's what. If this is still out there with Bet DSI, yeah, this is Bet DSI. I could hit this up over here, or I could, right? So stay away from player props early in the morning if you can help it, right? If this is your only time of the day that you can ARB, then obviously go ahead and ARB. So if I remove player props, you're going to see that this list shrinks quite a bit. But these are ARBs that I can go a little bit heavier on if I wanted to. But again, if you want to just wait until later in the day, normally that's going to be better for account health. If you can live ARB, that's obviously the best for account health. But yeah, the DeAndre Hunter play, guys, already dropped to 27.5. And we ended up getting it for 29.5 on his points and rebounds. So, but I understand as soon as I submitted it, it kind of bumped, which is kind of just how it goes with underdog. So, but obviously betting player props early in the day for DFS, you can get some really good value. All right, so over here on the Sharp Money tool, outside of this, we're still going to have main markets. We're just going to tee up main markets. We're going to select all the books. We're just going to look for today, like what's going on. Not a ton of plays, but we talked about this with UT Martin and Bradley. Somebody wants this minus 111, minus 110. You can't really get that. It's really a positive EV play. You can't get this on Onyx because Onyx copies, unless Onyx just has this play loaded and DraftKings doesn't. Total points, Pinnacle's taking $250. American University, George Washington, like we saw before. Somebody wants this at minus 120 for $1,400. That's much higher than Pinnacle's limit. These aren't two large college basketball schools. George Washington's in the A10. Americans I think they're in the Patriot League. I gotta get up to date now on my college basketball conferences. But obviously, this is probably just a plus EV play. If you bet this on Bet Rivers, this is 11 cents off to Pinnacle. Very early in the morning, though, to bet these but this is where you can find some really good value, right? But there's not much else. Like the Cavs plus 6.5, they're at minus 110. I mean, this is just an EV play on Ballybet, right? So like I'm going to go over to Ballybet and bet this. This isn't necessarily a Sharp Money tool play. This is Cavs plus 6.5. This is 15 cents off to Bookmaker, and it's 12 cents off to Pinnacle. So like this is just a very EV play. Main market play, I'm more than happy to go crazy on Ballybet. Even on a limited Ballybet account, guys, they might let me get 50, maybe $100. We'll have to see. Luis, American University? Which school? George Washington? UTech? Manhattan? UT Martin? Bradley? A lot of them. Yeah, they play college hoops. And guess what? We bet on them. Bet on them all the time. Dang. My money's tied up in bets right now on Ballybet. Can I get this anywhere else? Yeah, I could get this over on Bet Rivers. I could go over to FanDuel. It's not quite as good as FanDuel. You can get this on ESPN Bet as well. All right, I got to make a quick deposit over here. And then see if I can get the Cavs at plus 6.5. What else? Outside the Cavs at plus 6.5. You can get them at plus 6 if you want. Not enough money. There's just not enough money here in general for these plays. All right, so let's see what we can get on Cavs at plus 6.5. I got $150 now in the book. Did they remove it? No, it's right here. My bad. Okay, Cavs plus 6.5. Can I get 150? Probably not. 127.19. That's awesome. I'll take 127.19 all day long. That's still really good. Because I'm limited on Bally betting a lot of stuff, but main markets, I can still get $127 down. Hell yeah. Let's go. So if I like it, guys, if you want to bet it, please do. But it's obviously, it's a onesie book, right? That and like the Canby books. So this is pretty decent liquidity, though, in Bradley, minus 15.5. Granted, like we talked about, somebody wants it at a really good price. So also, if you guys are watching this and you're like, dude, I can't bet this at all, here's an idea. If you have and I'm going to sound like a pompous asshole, but for those of you that are in the chat here all the time, guys, if you have access to No Vig and Profit X, then I would go over to No Vig and Profit X and make a play for Bradley minus 15.5 at minus 111 odds. And I would just post liquidity there, right? If you have access to No Vig or Profit X, you can literally create any of these plays that are positive EV and just create them and throw them out there. You might not get your order filled on every single one of them, but the orders that you do get filled, you're going to be very, very, very happy that you did. I try to use, so remember, guys, if you have access to the exchanges, you have access to then every single play on this board you can go make because you can create your own custom odds. So don't forget about that. It's an extremely powerful strategy that gets slept on, is that if you have No Vig Profit X, every single play on the positive EV tool, you can create a market for it. So just do that, and you're going to see a lot of success. Trust me. I tried to create a custom EV formula for Circa and Profit for Pinnacle for main markets for college hoops or college football. That didn't work out. So we'll try this with good old Bookmaker. Can I find anything where you guys are in agreement? This is for the next 7 days market. And again, and I'm sure some of you guys hear me loud and clear. I don't mean to sound, I feel bad because I do sound like a dick there from time to time. But it's something that I think everyone, and I know I did, when I first had No Vig and Profit X, all I thought was just go bet the markets. But I totally forgot that you can become a market maker. You can create your own markets. And it's really, really powerful. There we go, Great Dom. Bet it last night on DK. That's always a good thing. Irish, it might be a chance maybe Luis is out of school. Irish just laying down the hammer. Laying down the hammer. All right, so we'll give this like 30 seconds at most. So to see if anything loads. Well, the only reason, guys, on these streams that I'm not using the custom EV formula a lot is for the sake of time. Morning, Ken. How are you, my friend? It's really just the sake of time, guys, is why I'm not looking at the custom EV formula. If I pull up player props, I'm just looking to see if there's any crazy liquidity out there at the moment. $2,500. Obviously, Pinnacle doesn't have lines set, guys. It's too early in the morning for Pinnacle to set player props. But, and on these morning streams, guys, I really try to focus a lot on main markets. All right, yeah, we're going to move on from this. We got to go the old school way. I got to do the old school way here. So first and foremost, we will look at, there we go. we're going to look at Pinnacle, and we're going to look at some NFL mainline plays. We're just going to go around the sports for main lines. Here we go. Vegas, Cowboys. You ever watch the Raiders play football? They suck. But the problem is the Cowboys' defense is not very good. Now, they did make a trade for a defensive lineman from the Jets. So let's take a look at this line movement. Why does Pinnacle like this? Oh, here's why Pinnacle likes this. Because Pinnacle fell off a cliff just recently. DraftKings. You can bet this at DraftKings. You can bet it at FanDuel. Guess what? I'm going to go over and bet this at FanDuel. Also, 50.5 is a pretty decent number to have. 27, 23. Lands on 50. Again, I don't mind going over on FanDuel. You could also go over on DraftKings if you want. This looks really, really good on the under on the Cowboys and the Raiders. Now, this is a Monday night game. I don't care. If you guys want to secure solid CLV, this would be the time to do so. All right, so I'm going to come over here to the NFL. If you want to beat main lines on the NFL, money line spreads, totals, you would do this now. Pinnacle's telling me to bet $240. I'll go $250. What's the max wager? $2,200. Even on a 10% limited FanDuel account, I can still wager quite a bit. So there we go. Under 50.5. Raiders, Cowboys. It's a good play. It's a very good play. Pinnacle just moved. I probably maybe should have bet a little bit more on this, to be honest, because of the line movement, but I'll take it for right now. Cardinals plus 2.5. Plus 2.5 is not my favorite side to be on in terms of that number, but Pinnacle, Bookmaker, Circa all agree with this. So bet the Cardinals plus 2.5 against the 49ers. Only $300 available on ProfitX. I would bet this if I had it right now. Let's refresh this. Texans minus 9.5 against the Titans. ESPN bet. This is a ESPN bet only play, but I don't mind it. Pinnacle made a small movement there. They were plus 130, plus 124, moved 6 cents. I'll go over to ESPN bet. I'm very limited now on ESPN, guys, so my days with ESPN bet are over. But to be fair, ESPN bet is moving over to the Score at the beginning of December. So let's see what we got. So we're looking at the Texans minus 9.5, which is a good number to be on. I mean, you obviously rather have minus 6.5, but the minus 6.5 here is minus 120. Also, I just want to peep this, guys. Sometimes you could see this. If the Texans are EV at minus 9.5, sometimes they could be EV at minus 6.5, but sometimes the books clean up that part. So minus 6.5, Pinnacle's at minus 123. Yeah, not really. ESPN bet's at minus 120. So they've really just messed up this minus 9.5. That's where they've messed this up. So, bingo. Don't know how much money I can wager. They'll tell me right from the hop, though. $100. Okay, it's better than nothing. All right, so we get the Texans at minus 9.5, plus 140 odds. There we go. Yesterday, for Dub Club, guys, we out of all the plays, we lost one unit, but we did sweep the NBA card going 5-0. So depending on what you guys were able to get, you can get this at minus 8.5. Honestly, it's a dead zone to me between minus 8.5 and minus 9.5. You can get this really good, decent price over Fanatics on the under on that Raiders game. So, Chargers money line? Hold up. Sorry. Yeah, all day long. This is looking real good. FanDuel, Chargers money line. Where's it at? Bingo. Okay, we're in for Chargers money line, minus 146. I bet a little bit more because I just love the main line confidence there. It's good. 2% edge, guys, on an NFL money line play. Are you kidding me? Dude, that's great. Pinnacle's the most bullish on this play. They're taking $10,000 right now, guys, so I'm pretty confident in what Pinnacle's taking. Really good over on FanDuel. I'm in on that. Oh, yeah, I forgot this, guys. I started doing this yesterday. Try to, do this as much as I can. There you go. There's the link. Chi-Town, yeah, or Irish, sorry. Thank you, Chi-Town. Irish, minus 8.5. Yeah, you could. It could be a 30. It could be but minus 8.5 to minus 9.5 is not that big of a deal unless it's 30-21 or a kind of a weird number. If you want to, that's fine. I always talk about that, but with NFL scoring, it's a little, in my opinion, that 7.5 to 9.5 range is kind of a dead zone. Obviously, you can have some instances now with teams going for two, teams, going forward and not kicking the field goal. Sometimes you get some of those scoring, but I'm okay with minus 9.5. But you can go minus 8.5 if you want. There's no problem with that. Whatever you're more comfortable with that number, go ahead and do so. And then we already got that. Okay, let's see what else we got. We've already bet this at minus 130. I'm not going to double dip on this under. Once we get below about 1.5%, guys, I'd say that's where it is. Ooh, Rams minus 2.5 could be something else. It's really good on Bookmaker. Pinnacle doesn't mind this. Okay. Rams minus 2.5 on DraftKings. I can't share the link on DraftKings, but we'll grab this as well. So, obviously, I like minus 2.5. That's a really good number to be on. If you believe more in the Seahawks, then obviously we'll bet the Seahawks. They're telling me to bet 110, and I'm still going to go a little bit higher and probably go for a 150 spot. I kind of want to bet more than that because it's such a good side to be on, but we'll go 150. Okay. Rams minus 2.5. There we go. All right, let's look at some college basketball today. And I'll probably set it up for Bookmaker as my sharp. Well, we want main markets. And let's go to college hoops. A lot of college hoops today. Okay, let me spot check Bet Now because I'm sure that a lot of you here in the chat don't have Bet Now, right? It's a very niche book. And I'm just trying to figure out later if I'm going to dump my entire bankroll into Bet Now to see if any of these plays are actually real. Any of these plays are actually real. Let's go basketball, NCAA men's. No, North Texas money line is not plus 130. And if I were to go, let's say, yeah, these are all stale lines on Bet Now. So we're going to remove Bet Now because that's not real. Okay. Sportzino, that is real. We can make a lot of money on Sportzino if we wanted to. For ProfitX, guys, this UTech Manhattan, Brown, Boston University, these are all $40, $45 plays. Feel free to go grab that. Don't be afraid. Indiana minus 24. We're looking at Fanatics and Caesars. Anytime Caesars and Fanatics have the same odds, yeah, I would smash this. Indiana minus 24. Very, very good. Bookmaker dropped off a cliff. Good golly. That's incredible. So I'm going to go over here on Caesars, and I will bet this play. For my Fliff users, looks like we have a San Francisco play. So I'll put these both right here on my screen so you guys can take it out, take a look. San Francisco, minus 11.5 point spread. Looks really good. Fliff, probably can't get this at Bet Now, but you can probably get it at Sportzino or Fliff. All right, so I'm just going to search on my phone for Indiana. I forgot you can't search by team name anymore. It's dumb. I got to go by like college hoops. So there it is. It's first play up there. Nice. Okay. I'm in for a larger portion on Indiana for $200. There we go. There we go. There we go, Chi-Town. Wade, yes. At some point, you won't be receiving from Underdog like the streaks. You won't receive that anymore. If you don't see it anymore, that's because they're just not offering it anymore. Appreciate you sharing that, Golden. So Golden says, I've not received promos for all of 2025, and UD is my worst DFS book. I cannot win there and rarely play with them. Immediate bumps, tough to get plays. Ken's loving the DraftKings value. Love to hear that, Ken. Yeah, make sure you get Rams at -2.5, -120. $900 here on this Bradley UT Martin play. It's a little high for me. A little high in terms of amount of money out there. Let me take a spot check on what bookmakers take on this. I would imagine bookmakers probably taking like $1,000 to $1,500. Again, guys, when we see that, I just stay away from it, right? I know we think about the sharp money play and the sharp money tool and like, hey, is there maybe a play here on the opposite side? Like this no vig guy, maybe he's a pro bettor. It's like if they're all taking the same amount of money, then I'll look for line movement. Otherwise, I'm just going to stay away from it. So University of Tennessee Martin versus Bradley. We're looking at the under 144.5. At this particular moment, bookmaker has this. They're taking $560. So I just would not touch this play, guys. Small schools, they're only taking $500. Move on from it. But like a little different here with Northern Kentucky and East Tennessee State. Profit X, there's $43 here. There are some plays here like Fresno State I'm seeing that obviously Pinnacle and Bookmaker disagree on, which is awesome. But this is all depending on line movement, right? And Pinnacle just moved a lot. So I kind of maybe would rather not just touch these plays. Do we have any other rec books? Still haven't gotten in with Bracco yet. Let me know if you guys have signed up at Bracco. I'm being, I guess, a little lazy, but I need to get on there and sign up with them. I'll probably do that today so I can start. Because there looks like some plays out there we could smash on Bracco. I know Cross, the odds, he signed up with them. He's a little too low for the rest of me, so okay. But let me know what you guys, if you have grabbed anything yet. Let's look at some main markets for the NBA for today. We already talked about the Cavs at +6.5. Let's use, I'm okay. Let me spot check this real quickly, guys. So the Rockets at -18.5. I'm just on Bookmaker right now. I want to see what their limits are compared to Pinnacle. Whoever takes more money, guys, whichever sports book's taking more money, that's who I have more confidence in. So they have this at 16.5. They just have a little difference of opinion of where the spread should be. But they're taking 5K on the -18.5. On their main line, they're taking 5,600. Pinnacle's taking more money, so I'm going to use Pinnacle as my sharp, at least for this. If I want to spot check a total points, so like the Cavs game, we got Pinnacle taking $5,000 on the under 237. Bookmakers taking 3K. So, yeah, Pinnacle just takes more money on the NBA than Bookmaker at this point of the morning, guys. Make a note of that. So I'm just going to move this over to Pinnacle, right? And we'll take a look. Okay, Rockets -14.5 on ESPN Bet. This looks incredible. It's okay at FanDuel. It's not as EV, but if we can get this on ESPN Bet, go do so. Even though I am limited on ESPN Bet, I will still go ahead and bet this. It's a juicy play, -135. Rockets are playing the Wizards. I don't know if you watch the Wizards play basketball. Other than that one time that they played the Pistons, they're usually hot garbage. And so the main line's at 16.5. We can get this at 14.5 at a great price. Again, I just don't tell you guys what to bet. I put my money where my mouth is, though I can only bet a certain amount of money. $67.50. Hot diggity dog, ESPN Bet. Well, then that's what I'm betting it at. If I could bet more, guys, I would bet more. But if you guys can appreciate that, obviously subscribe to the channel. A video will be dropping today on the channel, so be on the lookout for that. Just had a video drop on the OddsJam channel talking about the custom plus EV formula. If you guys haven't checked that out, it just dropped this morning. I give away some of my favorite combinations in terms of what books I like to use. And I give a couple, two of them I gave away I don't think everyone is aware of. Maybe some of you are, but if it's a new one that caught you off guard that you were kind of pleasantly surprised, DM me on an X and be like, hey, Billy, appreciate that one. Haven't tried that one yet. Some of them I bring out of my vault every now and then to share with everyone. So Lakers, Thunder, over 229.5. I thought I could wager. Normally, guys, with the books, you can wager more money on spreads than you can on totals. So if I was only able to bet $67 on a point spread, how much can I bet on the total points? Probably like $30, I'm guessing. $50. Okay, a little bit less. Over 229.5. Lakers, Thunder. ESPN bet. $50. If I could wager more, I would bet more. Okay. NHL. We'll look at the NHL, and then we'll kind of come back over to look at like sharp money tool. Anything for the NHL for main markets? Under 6, Utah Mammoth minus 1.5 against Bet Online. Yeah, that just dropped, so let's refresh. Yeah, we can hide this bet. It's too low. Under 6 on the Devils and the Blackhawks. Pinnacle's taking almost $4,000. Again, new sport, guys. It doesn't mean that Pinnacle is going to take more money than Bookmaker for sports. So if I look over here at this Devils game, there's only 4 games tonight. Bookmaker's taking $2,000. So Pinnacle's taking more for hockey. I'd lean there. Yeah, this looks decent. It's low. It's 1%, but I'm still interested. And we have some insurance. If it's a 4-2 hockey game, then you could do that. Honestly, I might try to bet this over at BetMania, even though it's a slightly worse price. I have a really large rollover with this book. I still have like 9 to 10,000 that I need to work through a rollover. It's my last offshore book that I made a mistake on back in the day, taking a large sign-up bonus with. I took them for all their sign-up bonus money, and at this point, I kind of wish I didn't. Or I definitely wish that I didn't. So I'm going to look over here to see what I can get this as. Yeah, it's even. I can only bet 125, but that's fine. It's fine. All right, so I get this for a slightly worse price just so that I can work through my rollover on BetMania. Obviously, if you could bet this on Caesars, guys, please bet it on Caesars. But if you can't, then you could still bet this at Bet for a slight edge. But it's not great. Oilers on the money line. No vig. Yeah, I would still bet this, guys. It's a low percentage edge play, but I definitely would still go grab this. I'm fine with it. Yeah. Bet Online moved. I don't like seeing that, but okay. Okay. Let's get back over and let's go back over the sharp money tool for any player props, for any of my guys that are looking to grab some player props. Russie, Westbrook, sprinkle, $25 to get a triple-double. This is for Bovada only. But if you want to sprinkle a little bit of money on Russ to get a triple-double tonight, obviously you need some players that are going to be out of the lineup for the Kings, but it could be something you could take a look at. Stevie, I do. I definitely see it working. I just think that if you guys use the custom EV formula, it's a point that I mentioned in the video that you need to be comfortable taking plays that have less EV percentage because you're getting multiple opinions from sharp books. So they're not always going to agree with one another. So even though if you find a 1 or 2% EV edge play with the custom EV formula, I would have a lot of confidence in that edge because you're receiving multiple opinions. Philosopher. Yes, Philosopher. I don't know if this is your first stream because I've talked about this a lot over the last couple of weeks when I used the sharp money tool and the EV tool. Yes, I definitely combine both. I use all the tools at OddsJam. I don't use all the tools as much equally, but I do use all the tools for sure. SEC, what happens when both ARBs are bonus bets? Then that's really, it's a guaranteed way that you are going to receive a risk-free bet or a bonus. If they're both bonus bets, I always like to think of it as your initial wager. But if you're using both bonus bets, obviously one's going to win, one's going to lose. You're really just burning through your bonus bets in that scenario. So you're obviously going to win one. You're just going to lose another. So if you're okay, if you want to lock in a guaranteed profit, you could do that, or you could just come over to the promo converter tool and say, hey, I got a promo on DraftKings, a bonus bet I got for $25, or maybe it's $20, right? Convert the promo. And this is where you could just convert the promo with your own cash. Now, if you don't have $140 or a Kalshi account, then move on, right? You guys can come over here to the filters. You can select the sports books that you have accounts with. So maybe you only have a couple, right? Let's just clear out everything. Let's say, hey, I got this, I got this, I got this, this and this, maybe this. And then it's going to tell you, okay, well, this EuroLeague play, you could bet Rivers. You have to bet $50 of your own cash, but you would bet your bonus bet here. But you're going to convert 75% of that bonus bet into guaranteed profit. So it does not matter what happens here. If the bet wins on Bet Rivers, you're going to receive your $50 back plus $15 in profit, which is converting 75% of this $20. If the bet wins on DraftKings, you receive your $50 back plus $16.35 of profit. Okay, if you don't want to bet on EuroLeague basketball, you can do this on FanDuel and DraftKings at the same thing, 75%. So this is a play where if you have a $20 bonus bet, you got to put up $50, $60 of your own money, and then bet your bonus bet. So that's how I would convert my bonus bets if you want to just convert it risk-free. Instead of arbing two bonus bets together, I would just use the promo converter. Now, if your bonus bet is for $1,000, that's where things become a little bit difficult, okay? There is really no other way to say this, guys, than it's very difficult to try to take advantage of that MGM risk-free promo, because you have to wager, you have to execute this twice. You have to have a lot of money, right? We're talking $3,100, $2,400, $2,700, $2,100, right? This is $5,000. Like, we're talking insane amounts of money that you have to have in order to convert this. So sometimes with the MGM promo, it's just not feasible. Hopefully that answers your question, CC. Yeah, Steve. So I would highly recommend, Steve, the first thing is, to definitely watch the video, because I provide specific thresholds of multipliers of Pinnacle. So instead of thinking of $ thresholds, Steve, think of this as multipliers of Pinnacle. So for main markets, a 2x, a 3x, a 4x. Awesome. Player props, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8x multiplier. What's Pinnacle's limit? Times that by 5x for a player prop. Now we're looking good. So it doesn't really matter to me, the $ question. It's a good question, but if it's not a multiplier of Pinnacle, then I don't want to bet it. That's exactly what kind of I say in the video. So if it's not a multiplier. So guys, if you want to, please, I go through very in detail on that video. It's out there for you guys. So you guys can definitely go through it, because on the live streams, I want to make sure it's a great question. I want to make sure I kind of keep it flowing really well. Some questions I can kind of rip through in 30, 60 seconds. Other ones take a little bit more time, and they're a little bit tougher. And that's why I make those videos out there, so that you guys can watch them. You can rewind it. You can go back and rewatch it, and you can kind of see that exactly. No problem, Steve. No problem. So, and again, if you forget, if you don't write this down, then this is a portion, guys. For any of you guys, I would definitely make this disclaimer. For sharp money, if you have a question about sharp money, I would reference this live stream at the 53-minute mark, between the 50 and 53-minute mark. That's where I answer this question, right? If you just write that down, then hey, on November 12th at the 50-minute mark, Billy talks about the sharp money tool. Then you can go back and watch this again and again and again. So just little things to help you guys out, so that even if I'm not live streaming around, you guys can then go back and watch that again. And that's normally my number one tip for a lot of people that ask questions, is if you have questions that, if you want to know my exact EV process, then what I would do is I would go back on my live streams from previous days, and I would fast forward to the EV tool. And then I would fast forward to this part. I would just literally take the slider button and I would just fast forward it, wait till I'm on the EV tool, and see when I expand a play. And then listen to me talk through plays. That's going to be your quickest way to start learning specifically what I look for, right? That's a fast track way of just going through each play. All right, he talks about, I see, oh, he opened up a play here. Okay, let's listen in. Okay, run me on 2x speed. Run me on 2.5x speed. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, then go to the next one. So if you go through previous streams, I know that's a little bit of work, guys, but literally a lot of you guys ask great questions, and all of your questions can be answered if you just fast forward through certain parts of the stream, because that's going to be answered there right there for you. It's tough to sometimes DM you guys on X because I have to write like a paragraph. It's a lot easier showing you that video where that specific spot is. So just to kind of give you guys a heads up. Levine, somebody likes this for $1,600. They want the -144. Again, it's early, too early for me. Dub Club guys, I normally release the player props probably in another 4 to 5 hours. I'll release the player props. Main markets might come out in the next 2 to 3 hours. So I'm just going to kind of chill right now at the moment. Tyler, what's the most profit that I made in a month? It's March. March, $15,558 from live arbitraging. And that was the live NBA props builder edge between FanDuel and DraftKings. And then in April, it was the next best was like 11,600. So it was really good. It's really, really good. We were off to a really good start. I didn't put in the Onyx parlay that I hit yesterday. So this is like a smaller, maybe a slight winning day. But we are down a little bit, but up to $2,400 11 days into the month. So it's been really, really good. Appreciate that, Wilbo. Yeah, I mean, that's what Wilbo said. I've watched 4 months of previous streams before they were taken down. Plus EV section, very helpful. So yeah, and that was just because of a YouTube thing, because they were giving me a bunch of whacks on the wrist, and I had to get off of it. But obviously, I have a lot of live streams up there right now, guys. If you're sitting on the toilet taking a dump, just find a live stream, whatever you're interested in. Sharp money, right? If it's a sharp money tool, it's probably within the last 3 weeks. Just fast forward to that spot, bingo, and kind of watch the breakdowns. And there you go. All right, speaking of streams, I will be back on today, 6 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Going through a lot of player props. We're going to be smashing player props. A big slate of NBA games, guys. Make sure you keep it locked on Underdog NBA for their updates and their injury news so you know who's in, who's out. Only 4 NHL games today, so there might not be many anytime goal scorers like there was yesterday. But if nothing else, guys, have an awesome Wednesday morning, afternoon, and I'll talk to you guys a little bit later today. Take care.